Good Monday morning. It is the 11th of December. This is Kramer's Corner with the daily technical updates. And as usual, we start with S&P 500 that just peaked above the 4607 peak from July and closed above 4600. So uptrend has resumed, despite a little bit of divergence on the RSI, but I think we will see the market moving higher in the coming weeks. There will be some choppy weather ahead, no question about that, but currently there's no resistance until around the all-time highs at 48.18. If it does take out the lows here from last week and the previous week around 45.37, then we'll see a correction down to around 44.58. But at the moment, it seems a fairly strong market. Also, the Nasdaq 100 that bounced off the upper part of the gap area has resumed uptrend despite being a little bit of divergence there on the RSI. I think we will see a move higher towards the 16,500, possibly 16,600 before Christmas, and higher towards New Year. So the Santa did come early this year, and he is continuing to hang around. So quite interesting move there. On the Eurostoxx also moved higher. EUROSTOXX 50 here, a very strong uptrend, new all-time highs. Stalling a little bit today, possibly. We are at an extreme on the RSI above 75, so we are very overbought, but I don't have a top and reversal in place. I don't want to do a written update until I actually do have that, but we are, just to remind you, keep your stops tight, because I think when the correction hits, it can hit pretty hard. Also DAX, very extreme. I haven't seen, I looked back a couple of decades and I haven't seen RSI above 80 for so long, or even indeed above 80 at all. So that's something that you should keep an eye on, and I think we could see a top and reversal in place fairly soon. At the GR40 currently dipping a little bit here, and we can see it's breaking up over here on the RSI. So we are in FOMO land, fear missing out. A lot of investors are jumping on now, maybe being squeezed a little bit if they've been short. So that's something to keep in mind. Amsterdam index still below its all-time high, but it did close above the 781 resistance. It is not the strongest one, but still we are in an uptrend. There's no divergence, and also a little bit stressed there. The Belgium market very close to the 37.28 resistance. As you can see here, it's fairly strong resistance. I think we could see a setback, maybe even before then, but there is a nice, strong support at 36.32. The CAC 40 above 7,526, so it's also taking out its July peak, and in a very strong uptrend. Sorry about that. Around 75, 76 on the RSI, so also quite stretched there, and we should see a correction. I know I said it for quite some time, but a minor correction at least. But still, I think we will end the year on a strong note, possibly going into the new year. Switzerland testing resistance at 11,068, just around this level here. We have some resistance, but we are in a bullish trend, so I think we will. Actually we did close above last week, but it is testing again this morning here, and we have still uptrend potential to 11,245 on the SMI 20. Euro dollar has spiked down to 107.30 support here. We have this support area here, 107.30, 762 around this, and I think we will see a bounce back. What you should keep an eye on is the 40 resistance down here on the 40 threshold on the RSI. If it doesn't break below, well, then we will see a bounce. So next couple of days, keep an eye on this level. We have the 55 moving average coming up, giving some support. We have the cloud giving some support, and If we do break back below, take out the lows here from Friday at 107.23, well, then we could see us back down to 106.66, which is the 61.8 retracement, and then I think it's really done. But there is an underlying bullish bias on the euro dollar, so keep an eye on that one. Cable spiked almost down to the 38.2 retracement at 124.80 before resuming here. There's still a little bit risk of it spiking down to 124.45, which is the strong support, so keep an eye on that. It's a little bit of a limbo. Will it rebound and resume uptrend, or will we have a move lower? Yen pairs, strong rebounds in yen pairs across the board after the sell-off late last week, and bounced Friday and continues to bounce. If we do break back above 147.32, I will actually move it a little bit higher and say, okay, let's move the to that level there. That's 147.50. Well, then we could see uptrend resuming, but again, we will be below the cloud, and we will also be below the 61.8 retracement, so maybe it will merely just be a correction, but keep an eye on these levels there, especially 147.50. Euro yen, more or less the same picture, very close to test the 157.69 or 157.70 resistance. Fairly strong resistance, testing the rising trend line that it broke below. If it does, if euro yen closes above this rising trend line there, then we could see a move higher towards 159.67, which is the 61.8 retracement, and then we are probably resuming uptrend. Aussie yen, also bouncing strongly, very close to test resistance at 96.10. What is interesting is that we are back above the cloud. If we can close above the cloud, then we are likely to resume uptrend with a move towards 97 and 98 in coming days. Moving on to the dollar index. 104.40 is the level to look out for if we do close above that, or if the dollar index does close above that level, then we are likely to see a move up to 105.23 with the 61.8 retracement of this downtrend here. If it starts slowly moving lower, I would expect it to resuming downtrend with a little bit of support around 103, and the falling trend line here. We shouldn't put too much focus on it, on this falling trend line. It is merely just a guideline, but if we do think, and I think I will actually place a little bit of it, but right there, if it does take out 103.22, well, then the downtrend has resumed, and I think we will see the dollar index to test the 101.62 support level. Gold took out the support at 2009 Friday. It's following through today, and I think we will see a move down to 1975, which is the 786 retracement of this spike up here, this run up here. It is not under the question that we could see it even dropping back to the around the 1945, even 1930, but I don't expect it. I think we will see maybe it's spiking below the 786 retracement before resuming uptrend. What you should keep an eye on is also the RSI. It is still in a bullish sentiment. It needs to break below 40 to change that, and also there was no divergence on the peak here, so it does indicate that we could see a move higher after a correction, but this is actually quite a large one, so very interesting. Expect it to be quite volatile also in the coming weeks and towards year end, but look out for 1975. I think we will see a test of that level. On the silver, also heavy sell-off, 786 retracement and 22.75. I think it will be tested. We have currently the RSI testing the 40 at the moment. I wouldn't be surprised to see it actually spiking below. What is key, will it actually close below? That's not a given. So if we spike down and then we bounce from the cloud and the 786 retracement at 22.75, expect a rebound towards the 23.70 level once again. Copper, on the other hand, bounces strongly off the 373 support area here and above the cloud. It is still in a bullish sentiment. There's no divergence, meaning that this value here or this peak here on the RSI did match with the peak here. So we should see copper moving higher after correction. I do not expect this level here to be taken out, and there's still some 55 moving average coming up here, giving some support. We still have the cloud here also giving some support. So just a lot of volatility, I expect, between the 370 and 395 in the coming weeks, but with a bullish undertone. On the energy market, we have WTI bouncing a little bit. There's a little bit of resistance at 72.65, but we are in a downtrend. There's no RSI divergence, so we could see a test of the 67 support in the coming weeks. So we can see this is the consolidation area back from May, June, July, before it took off in July, and I think we could see a test of the lower level of that one. Similar picture really on Brent. Actually formed a bit of a bottom reversal. Is not the textbook perfect one, but still there is a little bit. But I think we will see a setback also here on the Brent towards the 72. At least we are still in a bearish trend. And finally, on the US 10-year, that is bouncing. US 10-year Treasury yield testing the upper falling trend line. We could see a move up to 436, possibly up to 445 after this really heavy sell-off here. But 436 is still a strong resistance. One should let's have a look at the actually Treasury future 1112, just below there. Really strong resistance where we have the 200 moving average, which is flat, also putting a lid on it kind of, and we are starting to see some weakness in the coming days. And if we look at the Fibonacci retracement, well, then we are looking at 109, so we could dip down to that level there. So keep an eye on that. All right, that's all for today. Thank you for listening. Have a nice day and happy trading.